Steeler Nation Live. It's Sanders Tisdale
and James Owen.
Guys, we got a lot to talk about here on Steeler Nation Live. Steelers going down into Indy, Lucas Oil Stadium, and losing a close one, James.
Yeah, we're still in first place, though. A lot to talk about, a lot of statistics to go over, a lot of stuff happening in the NFL. We'll have two guests on the show later. San Fran Steve will be appearing video, and Cowboy Kenny. But we'll get back to that when we return on Steeler Nation Live.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Steeler Nation Live. I'm James Owen. As you could tell, right now I am wearing my Crucial Catch gear from last year, though. But, folks, Crucial Catch, it's been going on in the NFL for the past 16 years, raising billions and billions of dollars for folks, cancer research, folks who have cancer, to try and find cures for cancer and to help people get through cancer and fight through it and win. So, folks, the NFL has this thing where you donate money and you buy memorabilia, you buy, shirts, jerseys, hats, anything. And the money goes to the American Cancer Society. And what they do is they take this money, like I said, they put it together and they fight cancer. 16 years ago, the NFL came up with this program for breast cancer awareness. And it was particularly specifically for breast cancer. But since that time, we have a plethora, too many cancers to name, and it's really, really hard to say all the cancers because you don't want to miss anything out because it's so important. So they've grouped pretty much cancer together in one basket, and all the proceeds go to that, the American Cancer Society. For folks, I mean, we all know somebody who's lost their life to cancer. We know somebody who's fighting cancer right now. Our hearts go out to you, you and your families. This is not an easy fight, but you can win it if you stick together. And folks who have come out on top, rang that bell, kicked cancer's ass, and they're out there. So, folks, here's Steeler Nation Live. Please donate your time, donate your money, buy some Steeler gear. You go on Steelers.com and shop. Or if you're not a Steeler fan, I don't want to say it. If you're not a Steeler fan, you could go on your website, your team's website, or NFL.com, shop and buy your Crucial Catch gear. And folks, you can't help a greater cause than that, Sanders.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. Like you said, James, everybody's been touched by this, no matter who you are. You've got family members, or you've got a friend. This thing has taken a lot of lives, and it's been, affecting a lot of people. And the NFL is stepping up to do some great things with that. And we recognize it as well, not just from an NFL standard, but from a personal standard. The fact that this has affected so much, and by us trying to give back and let people know we think about it just as much as the NFL is thinking about it. It's just not an NFL thing. It's an everybody thing, James. You know what I mean? So everybody's affected.
But, and also at our workplace, they have beards for bucks. And it's almost like November, no shave. So if you see me and Sanders in the next upcoming weeks and we have some facial hair, no, we didn't throw in a towel. No, we didn't give up. To do this, for where we work outside of Steeler Nation Live, we donate money so we could, grow a beard, don't have to shave. It's got to be, decent. It can't look like you just came out of the countryside and all scraggly and stuff. Still got to be professional. But just to let you folks know, we didn't give up. So, hey, we might look good. We've done it before in the past. We might look good. So, folks, we love your comments. Please call 585-210-3917. Let us know what you think. Sanders, the game, we talked about it briefly. We're going to get some statistics. You got some video. You got some stuff you got to talk about.
Right.
A huge loss. Every loss is huge. I mean, going on the road and, into the dome, Lucas Oil Dome, and the Colts are really no slouchy team. I mean, they're pretty tough. You have to, like we talked about last week, the keys to beating the Colts, you have to stop Jonathan Taylor. You have to shut down Anthony Richardson. You can't let Pittman get open because they're all going to kill you. And not make any mistakes. Don't turn the ball over. Force turnovers. And, folks, we didn't do that. We, like I said earlier, the score does not depict the game. The score was close, but the Colts had control of this game from the get-go. Sanders, when you're down 17-3 at half, it's an uphill climb from there.
Oh, yeah. that pretty much ended the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 24-27. You know what? A lot of you guys out there, what are your thoughts? Throw it up on the board as well. James.
Uphill battle.
Yeah.
Uphill battle. And like I said earlier, Sanders, we had the keys of victory. You basically got to play mistake-free football, and that's not what the Pittsburgh Steelers did. Turn over the ball twice. We didn't create any turnovers. And it's just when you get behind the 8 ball and you don't stop the run. In fact, our offense sputtered. It wasn't shut down like we normally do with all the 3 and outs, but we sputtered. We spitted and we spod. Okay. And we didn't move the ball like we should. And like we're 3-0 for a reason, not explosive 3-0 wins, but we did what we had to do to get the job done. And Indianapolis, we did not do that. And we could sit here, we could talk about, how TJ Watt, his number wasn't called. He was held on pretty much every play. And we just didn't create turnovers. We didn't get the pressure. And Tomlin had a few words to say about, they were somewhat unprepared with Flacco, which that really didn't make any sense because when he was with the Ravens, we played Flacco for many, many years. We know what type of quarterback he is. And the fact that we couldn't get to him. And when we did, we stopped him. And just didn't understand the fact that the defense, when they stepped up and they blitzed, we created havoc and we got the ball back. It just doesn't it makes no sense. And the fact that we come out and the Colts knew exactly we're still that predictable offense. And a lot of people on social media have been, lashing out at Tomlin already. You know what, folks, we could be here all day talking about these so-called fans and bashing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like I responded many times. All right, we're not perfect. We're not going to win every game. We're going to lose some, make some mistakes, and hopefully we can, learn from these mistakes. However, but I do have to agree with majority of them. We have new offensive coordinator. We got new offensive line, younger offensive line. So you can't say the Pittsburgh Steelers are old and tired and weak. We just don't have the experience on offensive line right now to start pushing people back. And when you're playing safely, doing the safe like we've been doing for years, and it's not Canada's offense anymore, it's Arthur Smith's, but we still have the guy, the controlling the head coach. And this is what even the Colts were saying how predictable we were. We're getting back into that stage. And we talked about this after last week, Sanders. What do the Pittsburgh Steelers offensively need to do to open up this game? Well, we could come into the offensive set, expect us to run. If you go back in the game, folks, and you watch the first play of the Pittsburgh Steelers offensively, you could see that the safeties were playing almost behind the linebackers because they not only were they stacking the box, they were filling it. They were overflowing it because they knew the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to run the ball. So you do play action at first, and you send Calvin Austin across the middle, and then you send Pickens deep. And even if you don't make the catch, you're sending a message to the defense, hey, we're going to throw some stuff at you. We're not just going to run the ball and just be, happy with it and be copacetic with it. The Pittsburgh Steelers offense needs to change up and do some more things. I'm not talking about jet sweeps. I'm not talking about stupid flea flickers. You could ask the Buffalo Bills about that. How'd that work out for them? It's just these plays, you have to be a little smarter on the offensive play calling and try to keep the defense on their heels. And once they're on their heels, then you push and then you do some great plays. But if you're still, Sanders, it's still mediocre, this dinky-dank run stuff, you're not opening up the offense. And even the defenses are you're a laughing stock to defenses because they know they're going to put the pressure on you and you're not going to get any throws out to your receivers at all.
Well, first off, I apologize to you guys because I did want you guys to see our highlights here at Steeler Nation Live. So I'm going back through it real quick now because we got about the Steelers' huge game going down to Lucas Oil Field. Like I said, young rookie Anthony Richardson, 3 or 4, 71 yards. Flacco steps in, 2 touchdowns, 16 of 26, 168 yards. And our young rookie quarterback was beat up all game, James. When I say beat up, there was no blocking, as you can see apparent in this game. And the defense as well stepped out the lunch, missed tackles, dropped interceptions, you name it. We did everything we could to keep this game into the reach of the Indianapolis Colts and giving it away. And also, let me ask you guys, is this down? When your elbow's down and you have the ball in your hand, that's a dud play when you're touched. George Pickens was also in a charitable situation here in in Indianapolis, giving the ball away, but the young rookie rebounded, Fields turned it around, and he came out on top, only for it to end in catastrophe with a bad snap, and the Steelers going down 24-27 in Indianapolis. That hurt bad. Like we said, James, you discussed it. The Steelers have a lot to work on. The Steelers have a lot to find ways to try to turn things around. I believe it could be done.
Sure.
And the thing about it is that, like you said, you got to stay focused. And like we talked offline about the fact that everybody's crying for Fields Tomlin should be fired. Fields should be fired. When I hear stuff like this, I'm like, are these real football fans? I mean, it amazes me, And, James, look, if you don't mind, let me just go over some of the stats from this game quick.
Well, Justin Fields, I mean, he's getting better and better each week, and we talked about that. It's starting to show now. So Justin Fields stats without pretty much any protection: 22 for 34 for 312 yards, threw for a TD, and he ran for 2 TDs. So he accomplished 3 touchdowns, got us in the game. Boswell got a field goal, 24-27. We still had a shot. But when you make mistakes, and it's just, you can't help it. They're human. Make mistakes.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So because of that, the Steelers right now need to play mistake-free football. And it just shows if you don't, you're going to lose. And the thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, what kept us into these games that allowed us to have 3 victories and be in first place in AFC North, was our defense making big plays, creating turnovers. We turned the ball over once in 3 games, and that was a fluke interception. I mean, it was a deflection interception.
Right.
So, I mean, coming back, we still had a shot, and it's going to happen, but the Pittsburgh Steelers have to learn from these mistakes.
Yeah, and they have to learn from it. And if you ask me, realistically, the defense, they did. They came up big when they had to. At near the end of the game, when the Steelers most needed a shutdown, they hit a huge sack of Flacco, and the Steelers got the ball back, and they started driving late. And, of course, catastrophe happened. But the problem there is that they've got to be on top of their game. They play, this Sunday, we have a Sunday night. We have a huge game. Make sure you guys stay tuned. A huge game versus the Dallas Cowboys in Pittsburgh, where we're going to send them Cowboys home with hankies, crying. And like I said, and you guys are okay to call in next week, either way it goes, I want to hear from some Cowboy fans. We have some Cowboy fans on the board as well. We had a Cowboy fan that stepped up on the board just a minute ago, just to let you guys know. 24-17, he said Cowboys. So I don't know what your thought is, James. We'll give a score in a little bit, but I don't know what you think about that.
Well, hey, somebody's been drinking early. I'm just kidding. I mean, it sounds like a respectable score, but we'll talk about that later. The Dallas Cowboys coming into Pittsburgh, Acrisure Stadium next week. They just came off a huge division win against the New York Football Giants last Thursday. 20-15 in the Meadowlands, right? Cowboys had 11 penalties, so they got to work on that as well, right? So Dak, 221 yards, and yeah, he threw for 2 touchdowns. But when you're paying this guy how many gazillion of dollars? I mean, you could look at all the other quarterback stats out there, and you could compare, and it's not even close to his paycheck to Dak Prescott. Let's see. Dowdle rushed for 46 yards, so the rushing game really wasn't on there. Ezekiel Elliott, he's back with the Cowboys. We all know we signed him. He didn't really measure anything on the Richter scale. CeeDee Lamb, 98 yards receiving, no touchdowns. The Cowboys are 2-2 and tied for second in their division, and it's almost like they're going to hobble into Pittsburgh, and we're going to be there hobbling with them. So even though they came off a big win, because division rivalries are huge, because at the end of the day, when you're looking at who's going to advance in the playoffs, who has the better division record? And even if the Giants played competitively with the Dallas Cowboys, it's just, I don't see the Giants doing anything this year. But when you bring that in there, right, You bring it into Acrisure Stadium. Hopefully, Sanders and folks at home, fans out there, that the Pittsburgh Steelers could turn this around, learn from what we did wrong this past week against the Colts, and hopefully do some changes. And on offense, let's not be as predictable. I mean, it is what it is. And you know what? After watching what Derrick Henry did to the Buffalo Bills, I'll bet you, I could tell you, any Dallas Cowboy fans out there, mess me on the board, call us 585-210-3917. We want to hear your thoughts and your feelings on not being able. Well, you had the ability to get Derrick Henry. You just did it. And look what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That's got to burn a lot of Cowboys.
It's got to hurt.
Oh, yeah. James, let's go over some of the stats from the game versus Indy.
Well, like I said, every week the Pittsburgh Steelers have been improving with their offense. Okay. Even last week against the Colts, the score 24 points. You would think that they, really didn't have that good of stats. Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers went over 400 total yards offense, 6 penalties. That's about average. 2 turnovers. That was the big thing. And the Colts did not turn the ball over. So, like I said before, the plus minus differential on takeaways, when you're +2, that's not good. Justin Fields, we went over his stats. Also, I left out the fact that he rushed for 55 yards. He was the main leading rusher for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Pickens, 7 catches for 113 yards. So not that bad of a day for Pickens. I mean, he had that catch. Unfortunately, the fumble where it put us in the position. I mean, you take away the mistakes, Sanders, and in just 2 mistakes that come to my mind. Number 1 was the missed interception by Joey Porter Jr. That could have stopped a rally. And then the Pickens fumble at the 5-yard line where the Pittsburgh Steelers were set up to put some points on the board. And also mistakes that we didn't talk about was the challenges. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I mean,
game changing
for sure.
things. Like I said, that the difference between Joey Porter catching that interception and stopping a drive is 3 points there. The Steelers would have had a tie game. The difference between Pickens catching that pass and keeping it secure and the Steelers driving in to get a touchdown, Steelers win the game. I mean, there's a difference between those 2 plays, and the Steelers failed to capitalize in that game, which does that make them a bad team? No. But the problem that I really do have with the Pittsburgh Steelers is the Steelers need help in the blocking area. Our line has it right now. Of course, we got injuries galore all over the place. We got guys that were in the offseason that were starters that are out. You got James Daniels, who we lost in that game, gone
for the year, torn ACL.
Yeah, another offensive lineman.
And our number 1 draft pick, who was a starter, who would have been a starter, Fatanau, the number 1 draft pick. I mean, he's gone for the year. It's just, I don't know what the scouting team is doing with scouting these players. I mean, you have to absolutely look at their medical history. It seems like we're drafting players made out of glass. And it's unfortunate because these are really good players, but they just can't stay healthy. And even the somewhat veterans, Highsmith out. I mean, we could be here all day with injuries, and just thank God that Justin Fields is still good, and Russell Wilson is healing from that calf injury, and he's good to go. Roman Wilson, our 3rd round pick, wide receiver. I mean, or slot receiver. He's ready to play, and we don't know how good he's going to be with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got as long as Calvin Austin III is playing as hot and as on fire as he is, he's playing crispy. Sanders, he's crispy. He's doing a great job. Pickens is so reliable, and now we have a quarterback that actually can make plays and throw the ball where it needs to be thrown. But unfortunately, the play calling is not helping our offense with the standard run. And I could understand the frustration of these fans. I could see, give them time. But history is repeating itself, Sanders, because we thought it was Matt Canada and his offense. Okay, we get rid of him. We getting a new offensive coordinator. It seems like we're doing the same plays, the same predictable plays. And it's like putting a black square into a round hole. And you know what I'm saying? You could be beating there all day, but it's not going to get you anywhere.
Carl Colangelo just wanted to he had a funny one. He said, Richard Simmons is our strength and conditioning coach. And that the way I feel, the way these guys are going down.
Wait, Richard Simmons is dead.
Huh? No, I'm talking about I said he was. You know, when you see a guy when you see how weak our line is.
Oh,
our line is bad, dude. And like I said, what do we talk about offline? We said the Pittsburgh Steelers line, every other team out there. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles, who are not even doing that well right now. But you give them a yard or 2 yards to pick up, it's a done deal. If you give the Pittsburgh Steelers a yard to pick up, you might as well forget it. You might as well get in punt formation. You know what I mean?
Oh, geez.
I mean, that's how bad it's getting for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And right now, with all the injuries, James, I don't know. It's going to be a long road, and teams that we should beat, we should actually kill the Cowboys. We should actually put the Cowboys down. But I don't know, because if you can't run and control the game, what could you do? I think we'll stop their run, but that opens up Pandora box on other stuff. You know what I mean? So
yeah, well, like I said, I mean, if you can go back and you look at all the stats from game one, obviously, you know, you hope that your team would improve as you go along. We have 3 victories under the belt, and each game, like I said, and you also said it too, Sanders, is that we're improving. We're going up, but it's not going up fast enough. We're getting by. And as we showed last week against the Colts, not last week, this past Sunday against the Colts, that's going to only get you so far. And so now we have to be unpredictable. Okay. And offensively, like I said earlier, we just have to just throw the ball deep, just open it up. All right. If they intercept it, it's like a punt. We'll do 3 and out, whatever. But you got to open up and you got to show their defense that, hey, we mean business. We're unpredictable at this point. They don't know what's going to come at them next. And on defense, what we talked about offline, and a couple other fans out there who mentioned or posted that the Pittsburgh Steelers defense has got to start moving Watt around. Don't keep him at that one position, the left end, because the offense they're going to hold him all day until they get called. All right. And fortunately for the Colts, they didn't call anything. And we have video. I'm pretty sure people saw the game that pretty much every play that TJ Watt rushed a quarterback, he was held. So you can say what you want, but move him around, because it's the being unpredictable. And stop being so predictable on both sides of the ball. The one thing we do have going, or the 2 things we have going, is the Wizard of Boz, only missing 1 field goal so far this year at 4 games. It's freaking awesome. And that was like a 70-yard field goal he was trying. And in the wind, uphill, both ways, in the snow, you name it, he almost made it. Okay. So then you got our Corliss, our punter. This kid is amazing. He puts the ball everywhere he should, and he puts the other team deep in their own territory where they have to really actually work for yardage and to move along. So with that being said, I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers, yeah, it's a bump in the road. We didn't expect to go undefeated. So all you people out there, so-called fans who want everybody fired, relax, chill. Just chill out.
One thing I want to write up on, put on the board as well. We also have Steve Shannon as a young brother. He does a lot of stuff on the internet as well. He said, I don't know. He said maybe it's Najee, because he said Patterson seems to be running well.
Well, here's the thing about that. I'm glad he brought that point up. When you have 2 different styles of running back, you can compare Najee with Jaylen Warren. 2 different styles. It seems like Jaylen Warren gets the more yardage. 2 different styles. Jaylen Warren is put your head down. He's like a bowling ball. He's going to run you over. Okay. Najee Harris is strong and as big as he is. He doesn't want to run people over. He wants to run by people. And yards after the first hit, that's when Najee is at his best. But he has to get separation from the first hit. And it's just like piranhas. Once one guy's on him, the defense swarms on him. And right now it's hard for him. Now, Cordell Patterson, different runner too. You give him the ball and he just runs. He plows. This guy is huge. He's like 6'2", 235 pounds, I believe. And he just gets the ball and he will run through you. So it's just 3 different styles of rushing. Unfortunately, Najee's not getting the help that he needs. The other guys, they get their yards off of power and push. Najee is more of a finesse and if he gets in past the linebackers, good luck trying to get him down. But the problem we're having right now is for getting Najee to that point.
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of that goes, like you said, with the line blocking and everything else. Joe Spano says Tomlin needs to go. I've been saying that for a few years.
Yeah, I mean,
like I said, it all depends on how you look at it. I think the guy has either have dealt with injuries, like we always have. And end of the season last year, remember the playoff time? We had Watt. We going into Buffalo, missing Watt. We going into Buffalo. Pittsburgh's always having injuries getting down towards late in the season. And don't get me wrong, other teams have had injuries, but we always seem to have that integral guy we need for injuries. Yeah, I mean need for a big game, and they always drop off or whatever. But also as well, I can get that where you're saying from. Steve Shannon also says Harbaugh has been a nightmare. And I gotta agree. That young guy, he is gonna be molded, and that boy is gonna be nasty. That's gonna be Watt 2.0 once he gets it under his belt.
Well, don't forget, we also have Peyton Wilson from Wisconsin. This guy tears it up too. I have no idea. Maybe he's injured. We don't know about it. But Peyton Wilson, look him up, folks. Number 41, Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker. This kid is on fire. This kid is amazing. This kid is like, I mean, you can't even tell the difference between Herbig and Peyton Wilson, but you can kind of tell Watt. They all like the same Wisconsin farm boy kind of attitude right there. Power, and I'm going to get you. And don't be surprised if TJ Watt goes down, and who's going to step up in his spot? It's going to be Peyton Wilson. Yeah. And I hope that doesn't happen. Not for you, Peyton. You're a great freaking football player. You got power, you got finesse, you got everything like that. But Highsmith, he's out. He's got a groin injury, and Nate Herbig. I mean, there's no question that that spot is filled right now, that we don't have to worry about that side. But we need, like I said, defensively, we need to shift players around and surprise everybody, and just have Cam Hayward just run down the middle of the field and just try, destroy centers and quarterbacks.
Hey guys, like we told you guys earlier, we're going to have guests on, and since the Cowboys since the Steelers are playing the Cowboys, we have a Cowboy aficionado supposedly. Oh, you got the wrong one.
That's not Cowboy.
We got San Fran Steve. Hold up, San Fran Steve. Let's see if we get this straight here, because I want to get you full frame. It's still a nation. So San Fran Steve, what is up, my brother?
Not much. Just listen to you, Jamie's and his excuses why you guys lost. But you know what? I gotta give Fields a little credit that he did play decent in the second half. So is he still your answer? Don't know yet. So, and know what? Here's the other thing. I'm supporting new gear too for the troops.
That's right. Salute to service. We'll be talking about that next week. Crucial catch we did today, and definitely, we'll talk a little bit about San Fran Steve. He fought for our country. He's a veteran as well, just like me sitting over here in this chair. San Fran Steve, he's a hero. I mean, this guy went overseas, and we don't want to, hash up any memories of it, but San Fran Steve, we want to thank you for your service. We want to thank you for your time. You're a beast. And it's just nothing but great things about you, except for the 49ers, though. But, yeah, we just want to make that point out there. San Fran Steve, a decorated veteran, Army, 82nd Airborne. This guy has medals. He's a command sergeant major, just retired. This guy's no joke right here. But, unfortunately,
he likes the wrong team. Yeah.
I gotta say thank you for your props, and Noah, it's been an honor to serve for this great country for the last 26 years, so I can't complain at all. So, hey, big rumors going on right now, and let's see what your takes are. Is like Devontae Adams asked for a trade again today.
Well, you know what? It's great.
The three top teams. The Jets are still going to try to get what they can, because he has a connection with Aaron Rodgers. The Commanders, and who knows what could happen with the Commanders with this young quarterback. Then the last team is your Steelers. It's like, so you guys are looking for a true number one or a new slot receiver, and he might be able to work for you guys, But you guys, I think one of the things you got to do is just make sure you get the right starting quarterback for this young guy because he's running out the ball. He is a little how would say he's like a Stephon Diggs. He's going to request the ball, and is that going to fit in your team? Because you already got some hotheads and Pickens that if he doesn't get the ball, he gets pissed off. So it's just like, is he going to fit with the Steelers, or the Steelers even thinking about him? Or you got Amari Cooper that they say they're going to get rid of him before the end of the year. I just don't want. Here's my bottom thing: I do not want to see Devontae Adams go to the Kansas City Chiefs. I hope Rashad Bryce is banged up and doesn't come back, and after he is getting healthy, he goes right to prison. So
yeah, that's not going to happen. They're not going. They already talked about that. The Chiefs are not going to. They're not going to give away to the Chiefs, the conference rival, division rivals. They're not going to do that. And another team that they're talked about that he might go to is the Baltimore Ravens. But how'd that work out for Boykins, right? When he went to the Ravens, it didn't work out too. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, if you think about it, they want a second round pick. Okay, if you think about it, a second round pick is like what in the draft, like 50 or 60 in the draft, and you get a player like Devontae Adams. Yeah, I think he's 31, 32. He's a little old, but he's mature. He's knowledgeable, and I don't think that there'd be any problems with him coming to Pittsburgh. There's the only receiver that had anything to say was Pickens. I mean, Calvin Austin III didn't say anything. Von Jefferson didn't say anything, and all the other, and Scotty Miller, you don't hear a peep out of those guys. It was just Pickens, but he needs time to mature. And I think that would even help Pickens even more. If you got a guy like Devontae Adams as a number two, he's going to get paid. He's going to get the rock thrown his way. I think it would benefit Pickens if we got a number two receiver like Devontae Adams to take some pressure off of him. So
I agree. It's just like, I think Pickens never had that number one receiver to keep him in place. Brown was already gone by the time your other receivers come and go because they want more money or anything else. So I think, could he help out you guys? Yeah, I think he could help out the young rookie, not the rookie, but he's young enough where he's only been in for the league for what, 4 years, Justin Fields? 5?
Yeah, I think this is his 5th year.
So it's like, I think he could actually help guide that team, your team too, if the Steelers decided to spend the money on him.
Yeah, I think a second round pick for his skill level, I think it'd be worth it as opposed to drafting somebody in the second round who either doesn't pan out or gets hurt and you can't use them. What you're getting as a caliber player with Devontae Adams. And also, if you caught the game last night between the Dolphins and the Titans, that looks like Waddle wants out too. They had him on the sidelines, and if you're a good lip reader, he says, "I'm out, I'm done," just like Devontae Adams did. So don't be surprised if you see Jalen Waddle out there as well before the trade deadline.
You also had the same attitude with Tyreek Hill exploding on the sidelines too. It's just like that coach, he might be a great offensive mind coach, but what is it? The Miami head coach.
I forgot that guy's name.
Well, who cares? Because I'm not a Dolphin fan anyhow. But if you can't control your players on the sideline, you're gonna let them walk all over you. Then you know what? Maybe you should let some of these receivers go or these high priced players go because all they're doing is becoming the cancer. Look at when Buffalo got rid of Diggs, they got what, a 3rd round draft pick for him or a 4th?
They got a 4th.
Just to get rid of the cancer in the locker room. You know what? This is what teams are going to start doing. You got these overpaid players that all of a sudden they're demanding more and more money, and they're demanding more and more respect. They want the coach. They want to actually be a coach. Look at Von Miller. Now he just got hit with a 4-game suspension. Well, he's been out of the game for how long for the Bills? It's time to cut him too. Yeah,
I think he played maybe 2 games this year. He's got 1 sack under his belt for the season. It's just,
I actually think he has a sack a game. So that's except for the last game because he didn't play much. But Buffalo's playing catch up, so there was no reason.
The coach is definitely couldn't stop
McDaniels.
Yeah, Mike McDaniels.
He needs a haircut. I'm just saying.
He needs to get pants that fit him too. He wears floods every time he goes.
Listen,
Goes on the sideline.
listen, there's a time to be stylish, and there's a time to be a head coach. And if you dress like you're going to the beach or a beach party, I think that you get a lack of respect. And we talked about this a couple shows back about. I'm a big fan of Tom Landry, believe it or not. I think coaches need to go back to that style. You want respect from your players, dress up like you earn it and you need it. You need it given to you. So, I mean, Chuck Noll back in the day, he wore a sweater with a button up underneath it, the collar's out.
He was blue collar though.
Yeah, blue collar. I mean, steel town.
Right.
But when you take, sophistication of a coach with the hat, the suit, the no nonsense, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that if these coaches want respect, you got to get away from the player coach buddy system. Okay. That's not working out, because this is what happens, how coaches lose the reins from their players, and the players want to do whatever they want. No respect. They want money. They're not team players. And then they just get cut. And the problem with that is they just go to another team and they're another problem. And the only thing I don't see, I thought Stephon Diggs was going to be a huge disaster in Houston, but he seems to be thriving there very well with Tank Dell. Well, they're injured. And the other guys, get injured
when he's not getting the rock, and all of a sudden you see what happens. Because
for sure.
He did Buffalo all happy and smiley and everything else until they went to the first AFC Championship against the Chiefs, and he sit there and it's like, all right, I can't respect that. This is what he wants. Then the next year, it's just like he kept going down. And how much has he really helped this second year quarterback out of Houston? So now here's I love talking football. I love watching other teams play. What about Jared Goff yesterday? Perfect game, 18 for 18, and he's you know what? Throughout the years, keep looking. He went 18 for 18, 273
No. What I'm bringing up is some stats that Jared Goff. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not saying anything negative. In fact, that he's got more receiving touchdowns. Jared Goff, the quarterback, has more receiving touchdowns than Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews.
Oh, yeah, he did say that.
Sam Laporta, Brandon Ayuk. He's got more receiving touchdowns than your guy, and Jalen Waddle.
That's crazy.
This year.
That's crazy.
Somebody's got to explain that one to me.
4 games in.
He's got more touchdowns than those cats. I bet you if you put all their payrolls and paychecks together, Goff couldn't make that in a lifetime. So,
no, and I talk straight up. I think this was a year that the Niners had a possible chance to go, but their championship window's closing, and and it's closing because of one person, and that's Shanahan. And you're still running your best receiver up the gut or around the corner twice, and it's like they forgot that he ended up getting hurt 2 weeks ago. You're out with CMC, who his Achilles, not just one but both. He may not even come back anytime soon. Jordan Mason's doing a great job as a backup. Just keep feeding this guy the ball. And
so what's the timetable if McCaffrey's return?
I have a feeling you're gonna see him on IR soon.
What about Kittle? How's he?
Kittle played. He scored a touchdown yesterday, but who knows how much? It's like rest him this week. We got the Cardinals coming up, and if you don't need them as much, you know what? But Shanahan, he burns out his star players way too quick in the season, and they're all beat up by the end of the year. And it's just like you can't do that. You got these second, third, fourth year players that are itching to get in and show what they can do. Give these guys a chance. And it's just like you're not, because you're so selfish. And this is why he hasn't won anywhere. He went to the championship, but he hasn't won the big game anywhere. He kind of reminds me of his father. It's just like who got ran out of Seattle. So you're all talk.
Well,
he got ran out of Washington. People say, oh yeah, he got the better job, but you were given a championship team in the first year you went there. You blew it against game too. So,
well, we have a game against the Cowboys next week, home game. That's going to be a tough game. But let's skip that game for now. And the reason why I want to talk about another game that you guys will be playing the Cowboys in a few weeks, and we were hoping that Cowboy Kenny would be on the show. We do a split screen with you guys, and you guys could talk about it. But since you're on here, San Fran, Steve, Cowboys will be playing the 49ers in San Fran on October 27th. It's going to be a 4:30 game, I believe. The last time you played the Cowboys was last October, and you just totally destroyed them, 42-10, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So while we're waiting for Cowboy Kenny to come on there, what's your take? What do you think the 49ers are going to do to the Cowboys this year? Do you think that the Cowboys have a chance of retribution?
the Maryland Cowboy team shows up. The one that they played against the Saints. If it's that team, the Cowboy fans might as well start using these things.
He's got
don't worry, I got props.
I love it. He's got props. Man, Fred, Steve, man. So,
man.
So the record that you guys have, I mean, you're the fan. I'm not. I'm just a Steeler co-host of one of the greatest football radio talk shows out there. So you lead the series between the Cowboys. I believe it's 20-19-1. Is it going to be 21-19-1, or are they going to even up this series?
No, we're not. They're not even up the series. They're playing home. They're playing the stick. It's not even going to be a contest. You know what? I'm starting to see holes right now in the Dallas's defense. They're not playing. You know, I don't know if Diggs did not ever fully recover from his ACL tear, but he doesn't look the same.
Micah Parsons, he's out.
He's pissed off, and he's injured, right?
Yeah, he won't be playing next week against us. Thank God.
Right.
So, but there you go. You might have a young, hungry linebacker that comes in, and we might overlook him a little bit. Who really knows? But you know what? It is what it is. I think it'll be a close game for you guys. I want to say, if Prescott plays like he did the first game of the season, it could be, and his receivers are showing up. But if he plays like he did against the Saints, you guys will destroy him. So it's just like, as long as your defense can stay healthy, and the Cowboys stay healthy, I can see it coming down to a field goal that wins that game.
Yeah, we our history between us and the Cowboys always been close games, except for 1 year. I think we got blown out by the Cowboys. I think it was.
But you still owe them in Super Bowl, so that's some bragging rights right there.
For sure. So give us a score, San Fran. Steelers Cowboys.
2017.
2017 Steelers. Okay. Now getting back to your 49ers.
I didn't say Steelers.
Was that?
I didn't say Steelers. You just assumed.
No, there's no assumption here. 2017 Steelers. So do you think that the 49ers are going to be healthy in a couple of weeks to play the Cowboys? And if so, or if not, what do you think the score is going to be between the 49ers and the Cowboys?
We're kind of jumping ahead of the game and said, what about this week's game against the Arizona Cardinals?
That's meaningless right now. Because
you know what? Because if you lose and we're all tied up, then the following week we because remember our little side bet last week, the 49ers will end up with a better record than the Steelers.
Because we got 14 games left of the season,
and their last 9 games are brutal.
Yeah, that's true.
Your last 9 games are very brutal. That's
true. After our bye week, we got pretty much player division back to back to back to back. So,
and I think. Don't you have a Seattle game in there too? You got someone else too in there. So as well,
we got Washington. We got the Commanders. I think we go to Washington and play those guys. That's going to be a scary game.
I tell you what, that rookie quarterback is looking very good.
Yes, I picked him up on fantasy as my backup, and holy cow! Thank God that Jordan Love got hurt because he'd be sitting on my bench making all these points. So, absolutely for sure, it's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough, very tough last second half of the season. The beginning isn't that easy either. But, like, if we play mistake-free football like we did the first 3 games and just consistently create some offense, then and not make mistakes, I think we're pretty good in heading into the rest of the season.
See, as long as TJ Watt stays healthy for you guys, that's a lot of your defense right there. Because then when he's healthy, they're not double teaming Cam as much as they want to. But if he gets hurt, now they could push someone else against Hayward, and they could open up the run game for certain teams. So no, your bookends are important to stay healthy this year. So.
Yeah, so what do you say? We're going to bypass the 49ers Cardinals game. We're going right to the Cowboy 49ers game. What is your prediction?
If our tools are back and decent and healthy, except for CMC, I think it'd be a 35-17 game.
Cowboys?
Never. I wish Cowboy Kenny was on, so I'm not talking trash. It's just like I know he was on the chat, but where's he at? Where's he at for live TV?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get him in here. Yeah, so because he's having issues getting in, which
the big thing is making sure you type your name in the thing because it won't let you sign in until you type your name.
I think I got him. So let me see if I'm gonna send this to him right now. But then let me see. We hopefully get him in here. All right.
So while we got you on, I'm pretty sure Steve, San Fran Steve, you watched a lot of NFL over the weekend. Kansas City Chiefs continue to make history, taking over where Brady left off in the New England Patriots, and it just seems to me that they get all the calls, they get all the no calls. They have their quarterback takes out their number one wide receiver. I just don't get it. I mean, your thoughts. I mean, a lot of holding. I mean, game was tied 10-10, and then all of a sudden, they come down and it was fourth down, and you got that phantom holding penalty in the end zone that with 6 minutes left to go in the game that pushed the Chiefs ahead. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. It's getting to a point where I don't think these referees care anymore. They're not like hiding anything anymore. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've had some experiences with the 49ers and some bad calls.
All you got to do is talk about the Super Bowl. How they not one holding call on the Chiefs offensive line when they couldn't stop Bosa. The only way they could stop him was by tackling him. No, the Chiefs been getting so many different calls this year. I think it's worse than when Brady was playing for New England. I just think that the Chiefs are the new poster child, and they want this. They want the fat guy to.
The Walrus. I think last show I can't remember
do everything he possibly can. So it's just like, sooner or later something's going to have to break, and the 49ers or not the 49ers, the Chiefs are going to have to come to realize the realization that they're not that good. You know, they might be 4-0, but they're the worst 4-0 team there is.
For sure. I mean, I think last week I put a stat out that Mahomes' last, I think 17 or 18 interceptions were turned over by penalties. So how does
leads the league in the last 4 years about those?
Yeah, I think the next quarterback. Oh man, why does his name escape me? I think it was Josh Allen was the next guy behind him, and he had in his career 7. That's it.
Hey, guess what? We got him in the room.
Cowboy Kenny.
Oh, he was.
That's right. You had to go do a uniform change.
No, I'm up here listening to all of this. I'm listening to all of this naysayers.
I wish you had a bell. Ding ding.
You know,
ding ding.
Cowboy Kenny. I just said the score of 2017, and James thought it was automatically for the Steelers.
Now you're kissing his ass. Listen to this. San Fran Stevens kissing his ass. Listen to that.
Go Cowboys, right? NFC Steve, right?
No.
All right. We can be friends until 2 weeks.
All right. So Cowboy Kenny, you heard San Fran Steve talking about how they're going to destroy you in a couple weeks, and I think it's October 27th in the stick out west. Now, the last time, I don't know if you heard this, we all know what happened the last time you guys played, and you got blown out 42-10. So do you think there's going to be any difference? Because we're talking the same players as last year. You got Zeke back, you got CD Lamb, you got all them boys you're throwing to, you got the defense, you have basically the same team as you last. What is going to stop the 49ers from destroying you guys again like they did last year?
Well, I'm going to say, like San Fran Steve said, Shanahan, Coach Shanahan.
Oh, boy.
That's how we're going to win. That is how we're going to win.
So can you expand upon that? Can you be more specific?
Yeah, I was listening to San Fran Steve about Coach Shanahan. I was like, man, he might have some valuable points about him running his players in the ground before that time even comes.
Listen, now he's kissing his ass. Oh, come on, this is turning on us.
I'm listening. I listen to the perspectives and the truth. There's truth to that. I mean, it is. It's football. Somebody's going to be hurt or whatnot. But I think, well, y'all know how I feel. I'm a diehard Cowboy, but I'm a realist.
Okay. All right.
I am a realist.
Well, San Fran Steve likes that realism.
Yeah, because I'm listening to this fake guy named James on the other line. It's like,
all right, hit that mute button.
Yes, I think I might as well get everything I can out of this because it might be my last time I get invited back on.
You got my vote.
Oh boy, I think we're gonna you saw the game against the Giants, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How often do we go in there and bully the Giants?
You do all the time.
All the time.
This
you
game,
kept
we
it
only
close for some reason.
5
It
points.
was very close. Very close.
Yeah, it was too close. It was too close for comfort. And Steelers, I know I'm talking junk when I say we're gonna win, but realistically,
let it go.
I don't know because we going into Acrisure Stadium and Dak gonna have those Danny White eyes. Let me show you what it looked like.
Oh,
when you see Dak do that right there, when you see him like this, we're gonna lose. We are going to lose. I'm telling you, because it's like I don't know, he's in a losing trance or something. Every time his eyes do that. Same thing with Danny White back in the day. And I just I'll be looking for that, of course, when he's in Steeler land. I'll probably see it, but I think Steelers got it. Realistically, I think y'all can take this game from us, man, because we're not playing at any level of competence that we've been known for. You know, Dak got money, CD Lamb got money, and they're just going through the motions now. And it's actually a lot of quarterbacks got the money that I don't even think they deserve. Any of them deserve that because no Super Bowls, first round playoff eliminations. I guess Deshaun Watson made that happen because of his pay grade, but
the one thing is of 28 females that made the.
We talk about Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
That's not Deshaun. It's Massage Watson.
The one thing the Steelers have already going for them in this game, coming off a big loss, we're back at home. We're going to be hungry. Hopefully, if you listen to the beginning of the show, we talked about the predictability of the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, that pretty much anybody could come in on any given Sunday and beat us because we don't change it. We just, Mike Tomlin is Mike Tomlin, and he says, this is what we got. You know, it's up to you to stop us. Unfortunately for Mike Tomlin, they've been stopping us. So we've been just getting by. I mean, 3-0, and now we're 3-1. And it just, like we talk about, we're getting better and better each week. But at some point, it's going to stop. I mean, we're not getting better. We're getting by. So at some point, like last Sunday against the Colts, that's where the wake-up call came in. And now it's time. It's like, hey, it's not working. Okay, we have to do something. And at what point? You can't blame Matt Canada anymore. Now you got to start blaming Arthur Smith, and you really can't blame him because he's new. And then you go for Mike Tomlin, who's been there for past 17 years, 18th year right now. So, of course, they're headhunting for him. But at what point as a fan do you get so frustrated that you're like saying we need change? And just because we're winning, it won't. Go ahead.
30 years ago, man.
Oh,
you know, 30 years. I've been hoping and praying because our team sure hasn't been doing it. See that right there? Let me show you.
Oh, geez.
Oh boy.
See that? Where's that? 1995. There
I knew he was gonna say something.
Of course.
But we got you. But we got you though.
Yeah. Y'all got the 70s. And for the record, because I'm a realist, y'all beat us pound for pound in 95. Neil O'Donnell gave us that game. He did. I'm a realist. I'll tell you the truth.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
But we got a ring. Let me show you.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm getting a headache.
Oh
boy.
Oh man, our ratings look at the board. Everybody's hanging up.
We got a ring. I'll admit it. It's 30 years ago.
Look at our ratings just drop.
Look,
Everybody's leaving. Come back.
Here's a question.
What are you doing? Don't listen to him. Come back, fans. Come back, people.
Well, both of our coaches get fired at the end of the season. Who's going to get Belichick? You or us?
No, we're not. No, there's no way. The only way we're going to get rid of Tomlin if Tomlin gets rid of Tomlin.
Pretty much.
I didn't say you. I said Cowboy Kenny. Who's going to get?
McCarthy.
Either McCarthy gets fired or Shanahan gets fired.
I was hoping we got Belichick this year. Tell you the truth.
Oh yeah.
So listen up, folks. For folks just joining us, I'd like to say welcome to Steel Nation Live. For folks just joining us now, we have two special guests, and I do mean special. San Fran Steve and Cowboy Kenny. We're duking it out here at Steel Nation Live. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is a Pittsburgh Steeler Nation. This is our talk show. But you know what? We just love to give the love to everybody else out there, all the teams, the dedicated fans who call us on a week-to-week basis. Like I said, folks, we hope you're a Steeler fan, but if you're not, we love you to call in. We love you to get on the show and just talk football. And this is why I love doing the show, Sanders. Mm-hmm. It's because guys like San Fran Steve and Cowboy Kenny come on, take their time out of their busy schedules, because I know they're busy, and just talk about the game that they love and just talk about it. It's great. I would go on a Cowboy show. I wouldn't.
If you want to talk football, that's all. That's what it is.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's your love of football.
That's it.
But let me ask Cowboy Kenny. Let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
I already got a score from San Fran Steve of 20-17. Give me a score on the Cowboys at Pittsburgh Sunday night under the lights.
Oh boy. I might have to give you two versions, okay?
Oh my God. I take back everything I just said.
Oh boy. Now oh man. You making me try to go against my Cowboys live, man?
No, you're doing it all on your own. Great job.
I just think you know how Dak usually comes back after they get beat down, right? And they do like an onslaught. He hasn't done that. They got beat twice in a row. The Saints and I forget the other team. They beat us so bad, but nevertheless, I just feel in my heart of hearts, while I'm a Cowboy fan, I'll root for him. I don't think that we are up to par. I think it's too much confusion in the locker room with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. I don't know if they worked through their things yet. And even though this week, I mean, it even showed in this week, because the Giants, we usually bully them. We be in our 40s and 50s with them, you know?
Oh, yeah. Usually tear them up. It's not even close.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a 5-point difference. I'm just like, so I'm very, I'm optimistic, but a lot of pessimism is in there. I think y'all gonna beat us. Let me just go ahead and say it, man. I think y'all gonna beat us. I'm gonna say 24-20.
All right.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one.
I'm just being a realist.
You keep going against your team, I'm gonna have to send this to you, the brown bag.
Oh, Jesus. Now, Cowboy Kenny, since you're on a roll and San Fran Steve had his airtime already, now we talked about it the last time you guys played the Cowboys, I think it was in Dallas, 42-10, right? And you're playing them at the end of the month. Like I said, same players from last year. Maybe they improved. Maybe they learned a little bit. I don't know. We need a score. Cowboys, San Fran, October 27th at the Stick. What's the score?
Okay. I might be out of the country because that's my anniversary, the day after our anniversary. But I'm still going to watch the game.
Congratulations. You want to ruin your time. I understand.
I think by that time we should have worked out our kinks, whatever we got going on in the locker room. And I think that game in particular, there's something in us that we know we have to win it at any cost. So I'm going to say we're going to take that one.
Oh,
I'm going to say we're taking it.
Oh,
that's a W for us.
Oh,
Dang!
Oh boy!
Dang! San Fran Steve.
But I haven't heard a score. I said 35-17 us.
Woo!
Oh, well, you know what? I'm gonna say 35-17 Cowboys.
Oh.
35.
I might even go 42-17.
Damn.
Well, hold up.
42-17.
Is it too late to start drinking? Let me see.
With Kenny.
I don't know. What is it? 6 o'clock your time down there? Yeah.
San Fran Steve.
Steve.
Do you have any rebuttal, San Fran Steve?
What? From a 35-17? Nah.
He said 42. He changed it. He added. He threw another
42.
touchdown in there.
That's right, Steve. That's what I call respect, Steve.
That's Cowboy fans for you. And the worst part is my cousin who has season ticket for the Cowboys. He keeps saying the same thing to me. Is this like, you know what? Here's the issue with the Cowboys because October. Yeah. So the one thing about the Niners, we have a pretty big schedule coming up. You know, I'm actually going to the Bills Niner game in October or December 1st. But we got a tough road coming up, and just like I said, if we can possibly get rid of some of the mistakes that these idiots are making on the coaching staff, it's just like running your number one running back when you're up 35-10 to try to give them extra yards. I don't think it's going to help us. I think I do. For the last few years, we have owned the Cowboys, and I give that shit to my cousin all the time too. It's like we do have your number. That, like I said, Shanahan's a good coach Monday up until playoffs times, and after playoffs times, he kind of chokes and he wants to do a little bit too much or a little bit too little. And no, I think it'll be a good game. And like I said, I'm going to stick with my 35-17 on my pick. I think 42-17 is a little bit too much. So.
So Cowboy Kenny, let me throw this at you. All right, let me throw that Jello against the wall, see what sticks.
All right.
Now San Fran Steve, he knows. I'm glad he's sitting down. I'm glad we're not in the same room. Okay, because San Fran Steve's a big guy. He knows how I feel about his quarterback, right? Mr. Purdy. Okay.
Purdy.
Now my take on him is he's really not that good if you take away his weapons. Now with all the injuries, McCaffrey's out. Ayuk just got his new contract, whatever. He has 0 touchdowns so far this year. I think Kittle, he's got 1 or 2 out of the 4 games. I mean, what is your take on Purdy? I mean, if you take his weapons away, he's not that good.
I think I'm gonna say this because I've watched him with and without his weapons. I think you can shake him, you can make him shook, but I think he has a resilience to bounce back too, though.
Man, we just got a love affair here.
Well, I'm serious.
It's like a love connection.
And watching him through the seasons, he'll lose a game or two. He'll get shook, but then he'll come back with some resilience. You know, that dude's got heart, man. And heart, you can't teach heart. Heart is something that's he's like a lion.
James, two games ago, this Purdy didn't have CMC, he didn't have Depot, he didn't have Kittle, he had Jennings.
Yeah.
And he threw 195 yards just to him, and he hit the backups. And I think his quarterback rating was like 108, 109. so he could do it without his targets. You know, you keep on a bass support guy, but it's just like he's better than anybody the Steelers had in the last 10 years. Besides Big Ben, who got old and could barely move.
Justin Fields, his last game is lost, was a quarterback rating of 104. Just saying. He had way better passer rating than Mahomes and a bunch of these other guys out there. So,
yeah, but that's any given Sunday, you know.
just saying, you know, just saying. Just saying.
The sun shines on Dak once in a while too, you know.
It's called a tanning booth.
Yeah, that dude, man.
And here's I feel bad for the Cowboys fans because they were dominant for home for how many years in a row, and this year, what, they're 0-2 at home.
Yeah. So look,
you gotta put that out here.
Look, think about it. It's a well-oiled machine. They paid a quarterback a gazillion dollars, a wide receiver gazillion dollars. They got this mega stadium that the taxpayers could be paying till their grandchildren are dead, and they put out this mediocre team. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I'm sorry.
I don't call them. I think we got the talent, but I think we got a lot of other stuff going on with us. You know, I think the talent is there. But I think the focus is off. The focus isn't there.
No, it's not good. The focus on the money's there, and they're getting it.
The focus on the money is there. Yeah, truth be told,
they're not producing.
The focus isn't there.
But no, I think Jerry Jones paid for that stadium out of his own pocket. He didn't go to the taxpayers like the Buffalo Bills did, that costing these people $1 million.
Yeah, you're talking about us too. We're in New York State. We're paying for a stadium that we don't even like, that I'll never probably go to.
What, the Bills?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you got that right.
In the famous words of Charles Barkley, that's terrible. That's terrible. Terrible. It's terrible. Terrible.
Oh,
Kathy Hochul should be fired for making that decision right there.
Yeah, Jerry Jones should be fired too.
Hey guys, we coming to the witching hour here on Steeler Nation Live. Like we said, guys, this has been a phenomenal show. We've had some guys in here who we're gonna have back on the show during the season or whatever. We got San Fran Steve, we got Cowboy Kenny. Kenny said,
I love it. I love it.
Cowboy Kenny says Steelers 24-20,
right?
And San Fran Steve says 2017. And James, before we go, give us a score on the Steeler game.
23-21 Steelers.
23-21 Steelers.
And that's a last-second field goal by the Wizard of Boz. He's going to take it deep, 52-yard field goal to win the game, walk it off, Steeler fashion. Acrisure goes nuts. Steeler fans go nuts. And we called it here at Steeler Nation Live.
Now, I just want to say for the record, if we happen to pull it out, I want to be on the show next week, okay?
I'm with it.
We're going to block his ass.
I know, we should.
Yeah.
Hey, Cowboy Kenny, you hear my bet last week? I said when the 49ers win have a better record than the Steelers, I get to go live in studio. That way I can nudge James and is like, shut up. My turn to talk.
You know, right?
Listen, I should change my name to Rodney Dangerfield. No respect. No respect at all.
Hey, guys. Thanks again, San Fran Steve, my brother. I appreciate you coming on tonight. That's my boy there. We'll see you next time you come on.
Yeehaw. I feel like I'm at the Outback.
And then we got Cowboy Kenny. I want to thank you for showing up Outback on Steeler Nation Live, doing your thing. And we look to hear from you next week on the show, my brother.
No, I mean Texas Roadhouse. I'm sorry. Yeah. Texas Roadhouse. And they sing happy birthday to you.
But if we pull it out, I got to talk junk. You know it. You know it's in my blood, my nature.
Cowboy fan. You're right.
All right, my brother. Cowboy Kenny here on Steeler Nation Live.
Oh, man. Peace out.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Oh, jeez. I'm having nightmares now. I wonder if you can sing happy birthday to us. You know, they Texas Longhorn. They sing yeehaw. They sing the happy birthday to you.
Oh, I remember that, dude.
And they go yeehaw.
Hey, guys. Another show in the book here on Steeler Nation Live. Great time talking with football people, guys who love football, guys who watch the show. Much respect to these guys that come in and we can talk football. We can talk about teams. We can talk about different things and get feedback. Thanks to the guys who are on the board as well. We had to give it a different flavor tonight, and we did that here on Still a Nation Live. So again, from your boy Sanders Tisdale,
James Owen, and don't forget, Crucial Catch. Get out there, buy your gear, support the fight against cancer, all cancers. Do it. It's the right thing to do.
Till we see you on Tuesday on Still a Nation Live.